Let's say you have some text in a container and the container is big enough for the text to fit. Well, that's not a problem. But what happens if you're in a situation like this? A situation where the container is just not big enough for the text, or you just don't have enough space to fit your text. How can you cut off your text in a more presentable or in a better looking way? Well, this video is all about how to do just that. This is the FlutterCoach, and without further ado, let's dive in. As you can see in this app, I have this text widget here, and we have this simple sentence: the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. And we want to find a graceful way or a better looking way of cutting off this text. Now, in the text widget, we have a property known as overflow. And this is the property we shall be using for this purpose. Now, as you can see, we have 4 options. That is clip, ellipsis, fade, and visible. Now, clip is the default option. And so if we reload this, you will see no difference. And so what clip basically means, as you can see, is where the space ends, the text simply gets cut off. Let's see the next option. Control space is our shortcut, and we can see our options. Ellipsis is the next option. Let's reload this and see what that looks like. And we can see these 3 dots have been added to the text. Now, this happens on the first line of the text, but let's say you want to display 2 lines of text or more, or you want to display a specific number of lines, and if the text goes beyond that number of lines, you want these dots to show up. How do you do that? Back in the code, we have another property of text known as max lines. And this property takes an integer, as you can see. So we shall put in the number 2, say that we want a maximum of 2 lines, and if the text goes beyond that, we want to see the dots. So let's reload this and see what that looks like. As you can see, we now have 2 lines, and at the end of the 2 lines, the dots come in because we still have more text, but then there's not enough space for the text. Let's move on to the next way of cutting off this text. Control space is our shortcut again. The other option we have is fade. And what happens with fade, as you shall see, is that the excess text just simply fades off visually. Let's reload that and see. The last sentence here, which has the word dog in it, does not have enough space, and so the text just simply faded off. Let's look at the next option we have. Visible is our last option. And what visible means is that the text will simply be visible, regardless of the limitation on space that we have. Let's reload this to see what this option looks like. And there you go. The text simply shows up. It's visible despite the limits. And to even show this better, I shall add a line here. And if we reload this, you can see that the text simply shows up. So if you have a column, for example, and below this container, you have other widgets, maybe you have icons, you have more containers in different colors, the text will simply be shown over these containers. You will still be able to see this text when you have set the property to visible. And those are the options that we have. If you have found value in this video, consider liking it and subscribing to this channel. This has been the FlutterCoach, and I will see you in the next one.